All right, I'm going to give you a little intro and I'm just going to throw it to you about Scoundrels. And we are recording, right? Yep. Good to go. What is this? Okay. All right, I'm sitting here with Sean Elliot from Debbie Does Dallas 2, from Luscious, Firestorm, Mascara, and today's movie, Scoundrels. How you doing, Sean?
I'm doing good, Jason. Man, that guy acted in some good movies. It's
You've been in a bunch. This is your fifth time on the show. High five.
really.
Five,
Well, do I get a
five.
jacket? Do I get a jacket? Five Timers Club, dude.
Yeah.
That's all right. But well, it's. I always have fun with you. I feel safe with you. It's fun, and I love what you've done with the films and videos of the day. It's so cool that the general public, if any curiosity to see people work and act without the other stuff. So so Scoundrels. Let's talk about Scoundrels if that's cool. That's what we want to do. Um, Scoundrels was my second movie. I had finished a movie that we'll talk about at another time. That it was supposed to be a series of three movies for Lenny Kurtman, and one came out called Co-ed Teasers. Go look at it. Shot in the Catskills, but that whole Catskill thing got busted, and it's a really neat story for another day. But after that, when I got back to New York, um, I believe it might have been Ron Jeremy. There used to be this bar called Bernard's. It might have been Ron. I'm not positive, but somebody hooked me up with Cecil Howard, and I auditioned for the part of Jack, I think his name was, in Scoundrels. Great cast, and we shot it in 1982. It was my second film, and I said, "Now this is acting," because it was fun. There was plot, there was substance, there was character development, and I got to work with some really hot babes and some real well-known actors. I knew we were going to talk about Scoundrels because that's the thing today. So it's funny. Before Ronnie, God bless him, got in all sorts of trouble, it seemed that every movie I did, Jason, was with Ron. He was my deputy. He was my boss. He was my dad in this movie, my girlfriend's father. But about a decade ago, he was in town where I live now in central, in the Midwest, and he was at a club. So I told my wife, I go, "You want to meet Ron Jeremy and go to this club?" Okay, so we go. He actually had me judge a boob contest. I remember putting ice cubes on the girls' nipples to make them hard. So I got back into the group after 25 years of being out of it. But that night I had brought Debbie Does Dallas too, which him and I weren't together. And he put my real name on it. So if you don't know my real name, folks, it's Steve. And I've got this, and it says to Steve, another X-rated actor or something like that on that.
That's
And
great.
and then all of a sudden, Ron was behind bars, and sadly, and all that stuff. But when I knew him in New York, he was a great guy.
Yeah.
Back to Scoundrels.
Well, look
Um,
at this. Look at this real quick.
oh my God. Yeah, you're welcome. Alan,
Sean
Adrian, and
Elliott,
me.
Alan Adrian.
Yeah, that was from Debbie. That was from Debbie Does Dallas. Um, that was a fun shoot too. They're all fun shoots, brother. Uh, so what would you like to talk about with Scoundrels right now?
You have one of the best entrances ever. I had to write it down because I didn't want to get it wrong. Um, like we said, you are playing Jack, and they're having a family dinner scene, and she goes, hold on. Mom goes, "Well, you've been spending a lot of time with Jack." And Tigger goes, "Well, he's a really good friend." And the guitar just kicks on and it goes to a psychedelic red room with the
Yeah.
camera going up to you guys smoking weed. And the
Yeah.
music is so loud. If I was editing it, I would have made your guys' voices a little louder. It is like so loud and psychedelic. But as far as an introduction goes, I was like, whoa.
I'm glad you like that. I'll tell you what, of everything I did, that was pretty much one of the coolest transitions. I know exactly what you're talking about. Beginning of the film too. So it's cool when you get to be the entrance. We're at the first scene, as you said, the dinner table, getting character together, and then that guitar went boom, which got here, boom,
Nice.
and it went in. Now, this is the one scene that was directed by Fred Lincoln. Fred Lincoln was asked by Howard to come in, by Cecil to come in, and he did that one scene. And in the dark red room, it was real weed or pot, as we used to call it, grass.
Yeah.
So he had to smoke the weed. Any problems with that? No, it's 1982. They could have given us anything. We're taking it. So it was Tigger. Tigger, I loved her. She also went by the name of Chelsea Manchester for any fans that might want to know about her. And
Mhm.
Marilyn G. Uh, and I was Tigger's boyfriend. And it was a slow motion scene and very close up for the money shot. And it was a three-way with me and the two girls. And that scene won best scene at the very first, and Scoundrels won best film at the very first I got to say it right, AF and American Film, on AVN, AF, and whatever, that was held in Las Vegas in 1982. Scoundrels was filmed in 81. Cecil put it into 82, so it would be in the movies there.
Mhm.
And I didn't go to Las Vegas to act it. That's another story for later on, because I was trying to be a mainstream actor at the same time, and I was really trying. That's why you don't see Sean Elliott's name in a lot of high credits. That's on my choice. I wanted to just be a character actor. But that scene was a blast, and applause to Fred Lincoln and to Larry Ravine. I think did the video, the shot on it, and to Tigger and Marilyn Yee. That was a great day. Yeah, I had a good
That's
time.
that is so crazy. Um, a lot of cool people in the movie, but that was like I've already said, I'm just being a repeater. That was the coolest entrance. It was so cool.
Thanks, man.
But the second thing I had written down um is in my research. I just wrote my I edited Scoundrels a couple days ago. I sent it to you privately so you could watch it. But
Great job.
last night, thank you. Last night I wrote the script for Scoundrels. I haven't even shot it yet. I haven't because I'm gonna shoot it tonight and then I'll
Right,
edit that and this into the movie and then the
right.
world will see it on Sunday. But one of my main questions was, what does Fred Lincoln have to do with this movie? Now, on the actual movie, the 1982 film, Dystropix, man, they made that thing look so good. That looks like frickin' Lawrence of Arabia. Like the restoration of Scoundrels.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. So
Yeah.
Dystropix did an awesome job.
Yep.
But in the credits, it says special thanks to Fred Lincoln. But then IMDb says uncredited co-director. So I guess you just solved my question. He directed just that scene?
Just that sex scene. He came in one day, and remember, he was dating Tiffany Clark at the time,
Okay.
and she was in the film. But Fred Lincoln came in and he was dating her at the time, but he did come in for one day. Remember, New York was a very small thing. They would hand off Henri Picard, Ron Sullivan would hand off something to Chuck. Chuck would hand it off to Cecil. There was Vince Benedetti. Everybody shot in Queens at his place. A lot of editing and interior shots were shot at his studio. So it was very small. It wasn't like what would, like if you talk to maybe Richard Pacheco out in California, where there was a lot of travel. There was a lot of different people that had studios and things to shoot. In New York, basically, you had the Amaro brothers, you had the aforementioned people I said, maybe five or six that they would do. This was after the loops and before video. So real filmmakers, there's only like five or six of them. So they kind of crossed over.
What an awesome time. I've never thought of it like that, but that's the perfect description, Sean. After loops and before video, the filmmaking spot.
Yeah. And think of also um, AIDS, to be honest with you, not to go wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
That was coming out in 82, 83. It was, remember, the gay disease, or they didn't know what was going on, and things started to change. and then politics got involved, and the industry went tanked. And you and I had spoke before a little bit, and that's when everybody went to California. New York became dead by '84 when I left. It's one of another main reasons I left, and they had to go to California to get things done, and that's where they cut the budgets, and it changed everything. Unfortunately, there's a lot of good that came out of it. The '90s, there's some great '90s and late '80s and 2000s and up to now, but that was the change after video, after a film before video, and I was at the tail end of what they call golden, and I'm really blessed that I was there. It was a small community, and it was cool. I loved it. I love it today. But I loved it then a lot.
It's
Go ahead.
such a cool time. If I could time travel, I'd go right to your era.
Oh, you'd love it. You'd handle it too. You and I would have some good times if Bernard's hit Midtown Manhattan. Plus, you had the exterior people that you were friends with. So the people that were in this Bernard's bar that we would all go to. So you would see Keith Richard come in. Nile Rodgers was a friend of mine from the band Chic. Le Freak says Chic. All these people. Peter O'Toole sitting in the corner getting hammered. Paul Schaefer's coming in. It was crazy, and at the same time, you had all these adult people, directors, actors, actresses. So it was a cool time. They call it the Deuce, man. I lived it. It was great.
Super cool. Let's see here. Um, one other one other thing is that I didn't realize until I was writing the script last night. So in the movie, you played Jack. In the movie, you played Jack. George Payne plays Harper. Are
Yes,
you is Jack the nephew of Harper?
you got it, man. You're on the movie. That
Uh,
Jack is the nephew of Harper. George was a beautiful man, good guy,
so
and
you and your uncle are just taking over this family.
taking over the town, taking over the family, especially. Yeah, the psychiatrist didn't know what was hit. We were messing up with his head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
it and you
yeah,
guys are making poor Ron Jeremy. He's in like a Bergman film or like a Fellini film. I
yeah.
love the weird landscapes which I assume is like the inside of Ron Jeremy's head. And you and George Payne are sending him to that
To use
Bergman
your term,
slash Fellini place.
yeah, to use your term, me and George, I guess were Caligula, and Ron was what was the movie where the guy was coming out with the atom bomb? He's riding the bomb. If that was,
The
I don't know
Doctor
if it was
Strangelove?
I don't know if it was Fellini, but Doctor Strangelove. Yeah, it was Cecil Howard. It's all and Anne Randall, the writer.
Yep.
So and Anne and of course everybody knows his daughter Sue's, but Anne started it. The writing was different. I don't know what they were looking for, but it was dark. Obviously, the not going to give it away to anybody that hasn't seen it, but you saw it. You're editing it, and but George was great. I also got to do a beautiful scene with the character who played Ron's wife, the great Lisa B,
Yep.
who I have been in touch with the last year, and we actually speak now. And I'm trying to get her a little bit to maybe public the face, but she's not doing it yet. So
Yeah.
that will be a big get for anybody who gets to see her again.
Well, you acted with Lisa B in Debbie Does Dallas Part 2.
Lisa and I were close. We acted off the set, on the set. She was such an artistic presence on the set, but she was also very artistic. She lived in a loft. She was dating another actor who I worked with, Ron Hudd, who was in Debbie Does Dallas too. Um, and Lisa was brilliant. She had a look about her, and to me it was beautiful. But she was very, I don't know, Fifth Avenue. She was Upper East Side. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? At the same time, she was very Greenwich Village for
That's
those days. It's a very neat contrast about her. Very cool lady.
well, send this to her and she'll and let her know that we're fans. and
I'm going to.
we
Thank you.
appreciate her work.
Thank you. I will. I thought about that last night when you sent this, and I was going to ask you if I could. So, but
Yeah.
I'll send the whole thing of us talking. Thank you,
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
Jason.
cool. Um,
Yeah.
I thought uh I thought it went Firestorm Scoundrels. And then I was looking at I was like, oh, Firestorm is 2 years after Scoundrels. So obviously Anne and Cecil loved you. They brought you right back.
Yeah. I was blessed. I would say they knew I could hit the mark. They know I could, I could do the shot when it needed to, but I could. You hate touting yourself like that because I didn't make it in the real world as much as I wanted to in the mainstream.
Uh-huh.
But I could act. I was a studied actor, and guys like, and back then there was a lot of us. Arbola comes to my mind, that studied. But yeah, they brought me back. And if you look at my groupings of films, um, you will see that Henri Picard brought me back, Mascara, and then Lydia Lace, I believe.
Yep.
And to your point, it was this, and Chuck Vincent brought me back, um, with Luscious and with, or maybe it was just those two. I forgot. Maybe they didn't bring me back. But yeah, yeah. And then I had Peepholes with Benedetti. It was concentrated in basically 3 years, 81 to early 84.
Yeah,
And did about 10 films. But I think 82 did 3 or 4 films. I was doing okay then. It was fun.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I liked working for them.
Well, you did an excellent job in all 5 movies we've done. I just watched Peepholes last night. A lot of drug dealing going on in that building.
It was again, it's the sense of the time, isn't it? The
Yeah.
cinematic time, and uh, losing my names with age here. Samantha Fox's husband, keep fantastic.
Bobby
Bobby
Astor.
Astor
He kicked
couldn't
you
ask
out.
for
In Peepholes, he kicked you out of the
kick my
room.
ass out.
Yeah.
Kick my ass out. I was with little Velvet Summers, and he kicked my ass out in that scene. That was shot at in Queens at for Vince Benedetti's Adventure Studios. Yeah.
Awesome.
But yeah, yeah, it was a dark flick about a well, everybody's a perv, but this guy was like a real perv.
Yeah.
But every time somebody asked me about those days, if you could get into my head and my heart, it was something to behold as a human wanting to do this for a living, to take a strap hang on the train from Queens to Manhattan every day, not going to sleep till 5 in the morning. I wouldn't recommend this to my kids. I wouldn't recommend this today. But in those days, 50 years ago, for a brief period of time, the debauchery, the fun, the excitement, the celebrity, the lights, the smell of the city when it was really not Disneyland. It's for those who were fortunate enough to live there, even outside the business. It was something, and I grab onto that when this is brought up. I remember it well. It was great, and I appreciate you, Jason, for what you do, bringing our movies back together, and I love it. Thank you, appreciate you,
Well,
man.
I appreciate that appreciation. Well, here's a little teaser for the audience. Um, Sean Elliot, I appreciate you sitting down and talking with me about Scoundrels, but we will see you again in the new show we are producing where we will discuss the entire career.
Oh yes, I'm going to vomit information out, folks. A lot of stuff from those days, and it'll
Brilliant.
be. I think your fans are going to love it. I got lots to share.
I know they will.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right. Okay, so I guess that's it. And we've got a minute and 40 seconds left. Is there anything that you wanted to squeeze into that last minute?
Um, well, to your point, we'll save all the there. Let's see. Let me think about Scoundrels for a second. So there was we talked about the Howard, we talked about Ronnie, uh, Marilyn G, Teeger. I'm trying to think. George.
Lisa B. I think we covered a lot of it.
Yeah, I think we covered a lot of it. Um, just remember the attitude when you present it. I think that that's what I. If you could do something for me, and maybe it's a generational thing, but get the dirt of what the city was about. Think of the Deuce 40. That's the time frame that everybody. I don't know how to explain it. I want the grit of the city back then. It was only in New York. It wasn't in LA. It was the end of the golden era, and yet you still